A company in Thailand at the Masterpiece Hotel in Bangkok is now offering clients what they refer to as instant six-packs. So if you're like me and we're mostly hibernating this winter in your favorite jogging pants while eating pasta, the idea of instant six-pack abs is just a little tempting. Although cosmetic surgery of any kind just freaks me out. The fact that people would be so willing to implant muscles instead of just working for them really speaks volumes. You should just become more aware of what you're eating, how you're sleeping, and how often you're exercising. It's the same thing as people who take steroids. You may get results, but deep down you'll have to come to terms with, well, cheating. Apparently ab implants are very common for cosmetic surgeries, and usually the clients are people who are lean that want silicone implants to pop the skin to appear as a muscle. The part that a lot of people are forgetting is that everything else on your body will be disproportionate. You'll have a solid six-pack but then really weak arms, so what's the point? The whole idea of working out your abs is to strengthen your core to balance out the rest of your body. The way the process works is doctors will draw an outline of abs on your stomach and then remove some of the fat around your waist. That I'm down with. According to the Thai doctors, this method has become very effective in making them look more natural. You know what's more natural though? Real abs. The hospital also noted that the surgery doesn't hurt, but the recovery is what'll get you. I spilled my tea just looking at the photos. The patients who undergo this type of surgery are typically people who work out regularly but can't kick the belly fat, so instead they spend 120,000 baht on surgery, which is approximately $3,745 US. I didn't have that off the top of my head, I had to look up a currency changer. Sure, it speeds up the process, but I still think the reason why abs are so sought after in the first place is due to the fact that they're so difficult to get. Real life lessons about self-control, commitment, and hard work are involved in getting abs, and more importantly, patience, which is non-existent in our culture now. Hospital CEO and surgeon Rawiwat Maskamato said, "We've been doing this for about 3 to 4 years now. We get anywhere from 20 to 30 customers requesting a six-pack every month." That's so crazy to me. I mean, it's a high number, but I honestly expected it to be higher than that. The surgeon went on to say, in order to naturally get a six-pack, one needs to work out as well as get lean. Most of our clients come in with a lot of muscle, they just want to save themselves months of leaning down. We are a licensed, legitimate hospital unlike many other cosmetic surgery clinics around Thailand, which means we have access to anesthetic and quality medicines. Well, damn, I would hope so. You're cutting up 20 to 30 people a month.
A woman who became a transgender man has now undergone extreme lengths to become what they now identify as an agender alien. They've had several body parts altered in order to do this. So who is this agender alien? Well, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna introduce you to Jareth Nebula, a woman who transitioned into a man when they were 29 years old. Jareth prefers to be referred to as they, so whatever opinions you have about pronouns, if you have them, that's fine, you're entitled to your opinion, but we are going to be polite to the pronouns. When Jareth was a teenager, they were hyper-feminine, and they would model regularly. Then when Jareth was 26, they were diagnosed with a rare condition called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, or EDS. The condition is part of a group of disorders that affects connective tissue supporting several organs like bones, blood vessels, and skin. It can result in flexible joints and extremely stretchy skin. But when Jareth was diagnosed, that was when they felt like they didn't really fit in. The good news is, Jareth's condition means that they don't have any wrinkles, which is like, damn, my forehead needs some of that. Too expressive. Also, Jareth can like pop out their joints, which is probably a pretty cool party trick. Isn't that fun? Jareth named themselves after the character played by David Bowie in the 1986 musical Labyrinth. They now work at a barbershop as a receptionist and they still model. After Jareth transitioned into a man, their breasts were removed, but following the transition, Jareth admitted that things just didn't feel right. Jareth is now 33 and they don't feel comfortable as either gender. But when Jareth heard the term agender, the term that applies to someone who doesn't have a gender, it felt like it fit. Agender is different from gender fluid. Being gender fluid means that someone feels like they are a mix of both genders. Agender refers to being gender neutral, or to someone who feels like they don't identify with either gender. Not only that, but Jareth just doesn't feel like a human at all. They said, "I know I'm stuck in human form and that's how I'm perceived by others, but to me, I'm an alien with no gender." Jareth was also obsessed with aliens as well as what it means to be extraterrestrial, so the idea of being an agender alien fit perfectly as an identity. Jareth now identifies as an agender alien and sports the look to back it up. Jareth removed their nipples, has 78 star tattoos, and their eyebrows are also removed, in addition to the breast being removed when they transitioned into a man. So naturally people find it pretty hard to accept Jareth. Jareth said, People treat me like a freak because I'm an alien, but it's a completely valid thing to call yourself. Who is anyone to tell you who you can or can't be? If someone wants to identify as anything, even as an animal, let them. At the end of the day, Jareth is happy with who they are and will continue to be more alien-like every day. So some final thoughts from me, honestly, just be whatever or whoever you want to be. As long as you're not hurting anybody and it makes you happy, that's the most important thing, right? To be happy.
A 32-year-old man just removed his top lip in an effort to transform into what he calls a quote black alien. Anthony Lofredo has decided to undergo multiple procedures in an effort to completely transform his body after becoming passionate about mutations and transformations of the human body from a young age. And over the years, the 32-year-old has done plenty of things to facilitate this change, like getting tattoos practically all over his entire body, even his eyeballs. He's also gotten his tongue slit, gotten multiple facial piercings, and gotten his nose removed. He also looks to have gotten filler or some sort of implants in his face and head to create alien-like bumps. His most recent and one of the most dangerous procedures he has gotten was removing his top lip, leaving his front teeth completely exposed. He spoke in depth about his transformation in a 2017 interview with French newspaper Midi Libre, where he said that he was working as a security guard when he realized he wanted to dramatically change his life, saying he was, quote, not living his life the way he wanted. Adding at the age of 24, he stopped what he was doing and moved to Australia. Then when talking about his unique look, he said, quote, it has become normal, even unconscious, to constantly think about my plans for the next few months. I love getting into the shoes of a scary character. I often settle down somewhere and play a role, especially at night in the dark streets. I have fun. I explore the contrast between the role I play and myself. Anthony is originally from France but had to travel to Spain to undergo his nose removal surgery as it's illegal in his own country. The procedure left him with 2 exposed nostrils, and the removal of his lip has left him struggling to speak. But even with all the pain and struggle the procedures have cost him, he is still ecstatic about the change, saying after the nose removal in an Instagram post, quote, like in a dream, I lived this dream. Thank you to you at Oscar Marquez Body Mod, you will have marked my life. Now I can walk head high thanks to you. I am proud of what we did together. Anthony is sharing the entire process of his transformation on his Instagram page and recently said that even with the extreme procedures he has already undertaken, his evolution is only 20% complete, saying on an Instagram live that he plans to remove his skin and replace it with metal. And by looking at him, I thought he would be at least more than halfway done with his procedures. Like, I'm honestly just not sure kind of what else he could do. Let me know below what you think that he might be doing to kind of facilitate this black alien look. The only thing that I can think of that is signature of aliens is like a large bulbous looking head, so he might be making a change like that, which I would assume is, again, like a very, very invasive surgery.
I am definitely one for investing in yourself, and it seems this woman, who has been making millions since investing in herself, feels the same way. Although initially her goal wasn't to make money off of her body, and instead was just trying to get laid, as she put it, I don't think 26-year-old Amanda Martin is complaining. So the story here is Amanda Martin, who is now 26, decided she needed to switch things up after getting married and divorced to the man she thought she wanted to spend the rest of her life with. The model from Las Vegas had a sheltered and innocent upbringing, as some publications put it, leading to her marrying a US Navy officer when she was just 20 years old. After a few years of marriage, unfortunately things wouldn't work out, and Amanda decided she wanted to drastically change her appearance and completely change her life altogether. It was time for a change. She was ready for a new chapter in her life and potentially a new romance. So she started by hiring a personal trainer who helped her lose 70 pounds, with her weight dropping from 185 to 115 pounds. But that's not where the transformation ends, as Amanda would go on to have numerous cosmetic surgeries, leading to her looking almost unrecognizable. Following her weight loss, Amanda decided she wanted to change more about her appearance, or as she put it, I quote, flat as a pancake chest. This led to her getting a surgery which increased the size of her boobs to a size 32 triple D. Now reports claim since getting divorced, Amanda has spent over $30,000 on surgeries which have helped shape her into the woman she now is. These procedures include fat transfers and liposuction, lip fillers, and tushy transplants, with her goal of looking like, I quote, a sexy thick queen. However, aside from trying to be a sexy thick queen, and that's thick with 2 C's and no K, Amanda also had a goal of boosting her Tinder profile a bit in hopes of getting laid. I feel you, Amanda. We've all been there. Hopefully you have more success than me in that department. Posting to her Instagram in hopes of attracting more men on Tinder, who I guess wouldn't have been happy with just the pictures on her profile, Amanda started taking some very seductive photos with her new looks and quickly got the attention of a lot of people. As she explained, I quote, my marriage ended, so I bought some boobies and I hired a personal trainer. The way I feel about myself comes from within. I've always thought my inner beauty and personality was awesome. I just like making making the outside match how I feel about myself inside already. With my newfound confidence, I started to get more into social media and wanted my Tinder to be poppin'. I became an Instagram thought before it was a normal common thing. I was just a chick trying to get laid. At the time of this recording, she's got over 5.5 million followers on Instagram, and it seems a large percentage of them have also subscribed to her OnlyFans account, where she is making a lot of money, my friends. However, it wasn't always sunshine and rainbows. As Amanda explained at first, guys were either embarrassed to be with her or intimidated by her looks. I quote her saying, "Guys were embarrassed to date me. My online persona has always been kind of loud and raunchy. I used my social media to entertain people, but closed-minded guys just think you're a thought looking for attention. I almost look at my overly sexual persona to be comedy to me. Either way, my audience loves it. I have millions of adoring fans now. No one says much nowadays other than they are a fan. I'm pretty sure taken or single men wouldn't really say much to me because I'm kind of intimidating." However, it seems those previous men just didn't really see the bigger picture here. As Amanda continued on, I quote, "Eventually my Instagram account and modeling career blossomed. I reinvested all my money in growing my brand and social media accounts, shooting all over the United States. This was before the time of OnlyFans. I received so much judgment on my Instagram because at the time, no one really understood what I was doing. I knew I could turn this into a career. And boy, did she ever make a career out of it." As we've seen during these unprecedented times, plenty of people have turned to the online subscription-based platform OnlyFans to supplement their income. Amanda obviously saw an opportunity there before the rest of us, as she jumped on the platform and hasn't looked back since. She's also found herself a partner, 30-year-old John Hill, who is known as the Greek Savage online. And it seems the two of them work together, posting content on Amanda's OnlyFans, and make a lot of money doing it. No pun intended. I kind of intended that pun, actually. Amanda also gets some brand deals on her Instagram account, but it seems the majority of their income is from OnlyFans. Also, I'm not gonna lie, guys, this isn't even part of the script. Side note, I fully thought it said Jonah Hill at first, and I was like, there's no way Jonah Hill commented on this situation. And then I saw it said John Hill, so I was like, it's not my guy Jonah, but anyways. However, more opportunities have since come knocking, with Amanda telling the Daily Mail, I quote, "I travel the world with my boyfriend and co-star John Hill. Our homemade OnlyFans movies are so notorious that Brazzers contacted me to film adult movies, but I refused unless they signed my boyfriend with me. Having a man that not only understands but supports me with my online success is amazing." Her newfound look has also led to people drawing comparisons between her and Scarlett Johansson, who is currently promoting her upcoming film Black Widow. Of course, this has led to fans and potentially even Amanda referring to herself as the thick Black Widow. Again, thick with 2 C's, no K, just want to clarify. She capped off by explaining how proud she is of herself for investing in what she believed in, and also spoke on how much the couple makes. I quote, "I feel so proud. I literally made a brand and a business just off being myself and entertaining people on social media. I took so many gambles and I invested so much into being successful in this industry, and now it has all paid off. On OnlyFans, I make over 6 figures every month, approximately $1.2 million a year, and $300,000 from paid advertisements on Instagram. In total, I gross $1.5 million a year. Beauty radiates from within. There are millions of girls out there with good looks and amazing surgeries, but what makes you stand out is your inner beauty and personality, so don't forget to show those off too." Well, there you have it, folks. Some words of advice from a business guru who clearly figured out a way to beat the system. Regardless of how you feel about Amanda's choices, you can't knock the hustle, guys. I respect it. She's making her coin. She's doing what she's got to do.
Now, I've heard of people that have a height complex, but this is just insane. A man from Texas has always wanted to be taller, and at 28 years old, he decided to have limb lengthening surgery to become 6'1". I actually can't even believe this story is real. A man has just undergone cosmetic limb lengthening surgery to increase his height from 5 feet 11 inches to being 6'1". Apparently, he wanted to do this because he had intended to be more like his basketball heroes that he grew up watching. From the age of 12, Alfonso Flores from Dallas, Texas, said that he wanted to be taller. He even expressed interest in this surgery, but all of his family and friends constantly warned him to avoid the unnecessary treatment. However, Alfonso, who is a freelance writer and pre-med student, persisted with the surgery and went under the knife of Harvard-trained orthopedic surgeon Dr. Kevin Depichard of the Limb Blast X Institute in Las Vegas. Currently, as of this video, Alfonso has now been at his dream height for 7 months and says that he feels great to finally have achieved his dream of topping 6 feet. I mean, if that's your dream, dude, what are you gonna do when you get older and your body naturally just starts to shrink? Imagine what that is going to do to his hips. Kids, if you're watching this video and you're writing down your goals, aim higher than Alfonso. Aim for a goal that's beyond material and superficial things. Now, this goal of Alfonso's wasn't cheap either. The doctor he went to has listed on his website that surgeries start at $75,000 for a femur lengthening procedure, which is the one that Alfonso had done according to the Daily Mail. Plus, these prices can rise to almost $84,000 if you include a tibia lengthening surgery, and in most cases, patients will
will opt for add-ons which can raise the price to around $94,000. Now, one would think that if you forked over that much cash, you'd be done, right? Wrong. Between 1 and 2 years after the surgery has taken place, many patients have to come back and pay an additional fee to have the, wait for it, nails removed from their legs. This little Saturday afternoon procedure can run you anywhere from $14,000 to $20,000, bringing the total surgery cost of adding the same height that a pair of boot risers could have done to anywhere between $89,000 on the low end and about as high as $114,000. And I'm still sitting here going, how are people making this kind of disposable income during a pandemic? But I digress. While speaking with the Associated Press about his recent surgery, Alfonso said, "I know 5'11" is a great height and many people would love to be that tall, but I wanted just a little more than that. This is something that I've really wanted to do as far as I can remember, since I was 12. He continued by saying, "I decided to go for 6'1" because I started off at a great height and wanted to retain as much of my athletic ability and range of motion as possible. I seem to have retained all of it because I am able to squat the same as before." Okay, let me get this straight. Spent $100K to grow 2 inches and squat the same? Okay. Apparently his family has also changed their tune after being apprehensive about the idea at first. Alfonso also spoke about this as well and said, "They thought I was crazy and that I shouldn't do it because it was unnecessary. However, after I explained to them how the procedure worked and how safe it was, they were much more supportive. I really wanted to be more like my heroes. All of my heroes were super tall, particularly people like Michael Jordan, Phil Jackson, Kobe Bryant, and of course my father. These people were remarkable team leaders, hard workers, and they embodied everything that I wanted for my future self." And you know what? None of that had anything to do with their height. Those qualities he mentioned are a product of environment and at least a good childhood, which is also what I'm kind of zeroing in on with these statements from Alfonso. Notice how he mentioned last that he wanted to be tall like his father. It's as if he believes being taller will somehow earn him respect from his dad because perhaps his father respects all of the other men that he also listed there. However, Alfonso has got it twisted and he's associating success with height when he should have associated it with their plates. Michael Jordan was tall in high school and he barely played the sport that he's now regarded as the greatest at. Look, next to LeBron, of course. Don't fight me in the comments on that. It's not like he got taller and that's what got him into the NBA. He worked for it, he practiced, and through that experience he was shaped into a better team leader as time went on. It's as simple as that. However, Alfonso did give some advice to anyone looking to do a similar surgery to his. According to the Daily Mail, he said, "I highly encourage people to really look into themselves before they commit to having the surgery and really think about why they are doing this to ensure that it's for the right reason." He then went on to say, "As for post-surgery, I'd say as long as you're taking care of yourself, taking it slow, and being careful with your limbs after the surgery, you should be in really great shape. While I'm happy at least that he's recovering well from surgery, I don't wish ill upon anyone. I'm just putting a warning out there. You do not need cosmetic surgery to achieve these things. Look within first."